Hello dear students, I am Richa Shakya, Assistant Professor in Noida Institute of Engineering Technology, Pharmacy Institute, Greater Noida. Today I am here to deliver the lecture on the topic from the subject that is Human Anatomy and Physiology 2, and the subject code is BP201T, and this subject comes under the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Lucknow. So today's topic for the presentation is anatomy and function of the male reproductive system. So basically in this topic we study about or we learn about the what is reproductive system, what is the functions of reproductive system, and what is the male reproductive system, its anatomy and the physiology. Now start with the introduction part. So reproduction, what is reproduction? So reproduction is a process by which the organism make their same species, right? So reproduction is a process by which organism makes more organism like themselves, they reproduce it by themselves. Now human reproductive system, it's an organ system by which human can reproduce the bare living beings and the living offsprings. So to provide all the organs are present, normally construct the functional and its properly. In human reproductive system there are two kinds of the sex cells. These are known as the gametes, right? The sex cells in the human is known as the gametes, and in the male gametes, the male gamete cells is known as the sperm, and the female gametes is known as the egg or ovum. And when they fuse, when egg fuse with the sperm, they forms the zygote, right? Then when they meets with each other, then when the sperm fertilize or meets with the egg, then it fertilizes the egg and it forms the zygote, right? Now the zygote goes through the process for becoming the embryo and this development into the fetus. So after the reproduction process, means after the formation of zygote, they goes for the further process, that is there is a further cell divisions. With the help of these cell divisions they forms the embryo, and this embryo again developed by various mechanisms, various steps, they forms the fetus, right? Now for a biological process to be carried out, the certain organs and structures are required in both male and the female. The source of the ova, that is a female germ egg, the female germ cell, the female germ cell is a egg. So the source of ova or the egg is the female ovary, okay? The eggs will release from the ova, that for the spermatozoa, means for the production of the or for the generation of the sperm from the spermatozoa, that is from the testis, right? So the source of the ova is female ovary and the source of the sperms, or it is the testis of the males. Now in the female, there are two ovaries are situated in the pelvic cavity, and in males the two testes are involved in the sac-like structure inside the skin, the scrotum lying below the and outside the abdomen. This is the location of the scrotum. Now so reproduction, besides producing the germ cell or gametes, the ovaries and testes are the source of the hormones that cause of full development of the secondary sexual characteristics, and also they proper functioning of the reproductive tracts. So for the functioning of the reproductive system, there are the several hormones are functioning to control or to regulate the functions of the reproductive system. According to the hormones, there are the various sex hormones we will discuss in later on. Now, these tracts comprise the fallopian tubes and the uterus, the vagina, and associated structures of the females, and in the penis the sperm channels, that is epididymis, ducts, vas deferens, ejaculatory ducts, and other related structures and glands in the females. So there are the some structures of the male and the female, that is fallopian tubes, uterus, vagina, and in the female, and penis, sperm channels, epididymis, duct, vas deferens, ejaculatory ducts, and other structures in the male. So the functions of the fallopian tube is to convey the ovum which is fertilized in the tube, that is a fallopian tube, and to the uterus, where the gestation. What is gestation? Gestation is the developing before the birth, that is a gestation period. When the baby in the womb, that period is known as the gestation period. So when the ovum present into the fallopian tube, there is some process for their reproduction system, for their development. So that period is known as the gestation period, and it takes place into the uterus part. The function of the male duct is to convey the spermatozoa from the testis and to store them, and when ejaculation occurs, to eject them with the secretion of the male glands through the penis, right? Now, so this is about the brief introduction about the reproduction system. Now, what is the functions of the reproductive system? So the functions of the reproductive system is, it is the essential features of the human to produce the human beings or human offsprings. So the main functions of the reproductive system is lubrication of the ova or the egg at the specific time in the reproductive cycle. Next, internal fertilization of ova by the spermatozoa or the sperm cells. Next, transport of fertilized ovum to the uterus or the womb. And next is implantation of blastocytes, the early embryo development from the fertilized ova in the wall of the uterus. Formation of placenta and maintenance of the unborn child during the entire period of the gestation. Next, the birth of child and expulsion of the placenta, and last is the suckling and the care of the child within the eventual return of the maternal organ to the virtual their original states. So these are the functions of the reproductive system, that it will help to liberation of the ova for the fertilization process with the sperms, and when the sperms when the ova and the sperms are fertilized together, they form the zygote, and with the help when the zygote is formed, then the further process of the reproduction system will occur, and at the end of the reproduction system, the baby come out from the womb, and there is some other process for the reproductive system. So these are the functions of the reproductive system. Now, there is a structure of the male reproductive system. So the male reproductive system consists of those organs whose function is to produce the new individual that is accomplished for the reproduction. So this system means this male reproductive system consists of a pair of testes, a network of excretory duct, that is a epididymis duct, vas deferens and ejaculatory ducts, and the seminal vesicles, the prostate, this is a gland, and the bulbourethral glands and the penis. So this is a diagram of the male reproductive system. So this part is known as the penis, this is the scrotum part, this inside, this is a testis part, and this, the lining of this one is epididymis, this is prostate gland, and this is a seminal vesicles, and this is a bladder, and it is again situated nearby the pelvic bone, tick, and there is a ducts differences. So this is a structure of the male reproductive system. Now, so most of the male reproductive system is located outside the abdominal cavity or the pelvis. The external part of the male reproductive system include the penis, scrotum and the testicles. So in the penis, it is the male, these are the external organs, external male reproductive organs. So the first is the penis. So penis is the male reproductive or the male organ for the sexual intercourse, and it has three parts, means the penis is divided into the three sub parts, that is a root, body. So the root is the part of the penis that attached to the wall of the abdomen, right? Now the body, so the body is the shape, it's shaped like a tube or cylindrical, that the body of the penis is made up of the three internal chambers. Inside these chambers there are the spatial sponge-like erectile tissues, due to which the penis will erect during the intercourse, right? So it will erect, there is a erectile tissues that contains 1,000 large spaces that fill with the blood and when the person is sexually aroused. Now, as the penis fills with the blood, it becomes the rigid and erect, which allow the penetration during the intercourse, and the skin of the penis is loose and elastic, allowing the changes in the penis size during the erection. So there's some elastic tissues which will expand or which will enlarge the size of the penis during the reproduction or during the intercourse process, right? So because of ejaculation or because of these erectile tissues. Now the last part of the penis is the glands. So the glands is a cone shaped end of the penis, the glands, which is also called as the head of the penis, and it is covered with the loose layer of the tissues called as foreskin, and this foreskin sometimes remove into the process of the circumcisions. Now, so next thing is the opening of the urethra, the tube that transport the both semen and the urine out of the body is the same, okay? The tube which passes the sperms or the semen or the urine is the same, but so it is located at the tip of the glands of the penis. This penis also contains many sensitive nerve endings, and the semen which contains the sperm is expelled or ejaculate through the end of the penis when a male reaches to the climax during the intercourse process, or when the penis is erect, the flow of urine is blocked. Okay, because there is a single tube for the ejaculation of sperm or ejaculation of semen or urine. So during the time of the ejaculation, this urine tube is blocked, right, and the ejaculation process of the semen is done. So when the penis is erect, the flow of urine is blocked, and from the urethra along the only the semen to be ejaculated at the organism. Now the next is the external part of the male reproductive system is scrotum. So scrotum is a loose pouch like sac of skin that hangs behind the penis and holds the testicles, or it is also known as a testis. So it is as well as the many nerves and the blood vessels, right. Now the scrotum, what is the function of scrotum? The scrotum protects the testis as well as providing the sort of climate control system, right. If the temperature of the scrotum is too much high, so what happened at that time? The sperms will die, because the sperms will die into the high temperature, right. So the scrotum will try to minimize or to upregulate or downregulate the temperature. So special muscles in the walls of the scrotum allow the contract or tighten and relax, moving the testicles closer to the body from the warmth and the protection further away from the body to cool the temperature, because if the temperature is too much high, the sperms will die, and the sperms will die, they not die, it's a maybe die, or it's a may become a infertile, right. So if the sperms will may occur in the infertility, so what happened at that time? The process of the production of the zygote is not formed, because there is a no zygote formation. Now next, the third one is the testicles or the testis. So this is the structure of the testicles. So in the structure of testicles, there is a sagittal section of the testis. So this is the structure, that is the tail part, head, body, and this entire tube is known as the epididymis, and this there is a some this like structures is known as the seminiferous tubules, and there is a some connections, that is a straight tubules, and this lining it is known as the tunica albuginea. Then this is a retitestis, and there is a efferent ducts. There is a efferent ducts, that is for the ejaculation or for the entrance of the fluid. Now, so testicles or the testis. So the testis are the oval organ about the size of very large olives that lies into the scrotum to secured at the either end by the structure called as spermatic cord. So this testis occurs into the scrotum, and it is secured by the spermatic cord. The testes are responsible for making testosterone. It is a hormone, it is a primary male sex hormone, and for producing the sperms, right. So within the testes they are coiled masses of the tubes called as the seminiferous tubules. So in the testis there are so many coils present into the testis. It is known as the seminiferous tubules, and these tubules are responsible for the producing of the sperm cells through the process of the spermatogenesis. So spermatogenesis. Now epididymis. So epididymis is the again this is a external organ. So epididymis is a long coil tube that rests on the back side of the testicle, and it carries and stores the sperm cells that are created into the testis, and it also works for the epididymis to bring the sperms to mature. The sperms that emerge for the testis are immature, which are incapable for the fertilization process, right? So during the sexual arousal, contraction, the force of sperms into the vas deferens. Now these are the external. Now we discuss about what is the internal male reproductive organs. So these are the reproductive system are the several internal organs, and it is called as the accessory organs that plays an important role in the male reproductive system. These organs are vas deferens. So what is vas deferens? The vas deferens is a long muscular tube that travels from the epididymis into the pelvic cavity just behind the bladder. So it is a location of the vas deferens. The vas deferens transport the mature sperms to the ureter in the preparation for the ejaculation. The ejaculatory ducts. So ejaculatory ducts, these ducts are formed by the fusion of vas deferens and seminal vesicles. The ejaculatory ducts empty into the urethra. And what is urethra? So urethra is a tube that carries the urine from the bladder to outside the body, right? So in the male, it has additional function for expelling the, or it is also called the ejaculation of semen when the person reaches to the orgasm, when penis is erect during the intercourse or during the sex. The flow of urine is blocked from the ureter, allowing only the semen ejaculate during the organism. Now seminal vesicles. So the seminal vesicles are the vesicles. It is a sac-like pouch that attached to the vas deferens near the base of the bladder, right? Now seminal vesicles make the sugar rich fluid, that is the fructose. So in the sperm there is a fructose. Why fructose is present? So to provide the sperm with the source of energy, and it helps within the sperm's ability to move. Okay, the fructose provide the energy to the sperm to movement, right? Then the fluid of the seminal vesicles make up the most volume of the ejaculatory fluid or the ejaculation. Now prostate gland. So prostate gland, it is one of the most important thing. So prostate gland is the walnut size structure that is located below the urinary bladder in front of the rectum, and the prostate gland contribute the additional fluid due to the ejaculation, and the prostate fluid also help to nourish the sperms. The urethra, which carries the ejaculate to be expelled during the orgasm, runs through the center of the prostate gland. Now next is the bulbourethral glands. So the bulbourethral glands, these are the Cowper's gland, and this is the pea size. Okay, this is very small size. It is a pea size structure that located on the side of the urethra just below the prostate gland. Okay, now these glands produce clear slippery fluid that empties directly into the urethra, and this fluid serves to the lubricate the urethra and to neutralize an acidity that may be present due to the residual drop of the urine into the urethra. So there is some acidity, so it will also try to neutralize the acidity of the fluid. Now, so thank you. This is all about the reproductive system of the organs. Thank you.